All right, y'all. Welcome back to Mama Zoda. Mama Zoda? What? Mama Zodi Tarot. So I got a message from your higher self today. I'm going to do this for all the zodiac signs. And the reason why I'm specifically doing messages from our higher self is because that's where it all starts. It all starts with you. If you don't have that connection with you, and you don't know yourself, and you can't even make any connection, with your guides and really hear what it is that God or any of your ancestors is trying to tell you. That is why we are doing messages from our higher selves. Like, what are you missing that your own body, your own mind is trying to tell you? So we're going to start with Gemini, since we are in Gemini season. That's going to be the first zodiac that we start with. And we're just going to go from there. I'm also going to post Cancer and Leo today. So yeah, we'll just go in order, starting from this season on down. So yeah, let's see what does Gemini's higher self have to say. Gemini sons only. Gemini, because I was thinking about doing rising, but I know not everybody knows their time of birth, so you might have to do rising separate, but I'm going to just do Gemini sons only. A message from your higher self. What does your higher self need you to know right now at this time? What is the most important message out here for you from your higher self, Gemini? Slow down. I just heard somebody say, slow down. Ain't that about the thing, right? It's like that thing you always got to tell your child. Slow down. You Geminis, man. Y'all always moving so fast. It's great to make new experiences, but, slow down. Make time for you sometimes. Look, I see the healer on the bottom of the deck. I am loving and compassionate and able to bring healing to others. So we know that. Y'all are that healing member to the friend group. But don't forget about you. What's a message? Can we get a message from myself? For Gemini. Ooh. All right, we got spirit guides. I open my heart to my guides and trust in the wisdom they share with me. Right? So basically the energy and the focus is connecting with your spirit guides, right? So, if you're on my channel, then you're here for a reason. Obviously, you want to know more about your spirit guides. You want to know more about your ancestors, spirituality, your walk, wherever you fit in with those esoteric practices. Right? You want to be able to tap in with that. And so with spirit guides coming out, it's like, even if you're not wanting to, your ancestors are saying, hello, we are talking to you. So yeah, for somebody here, your ancestors are literally right in your face, screaming at you, trying to tell you to pay attention and listen, because they have something to tell you. I'm going to set the timer for 11 minutes, because I don't want this to be too long. So yes, that's the main message, is that your spirit guides are trying to talk to you. They're trying to tell you, wake up. All right, give me more on this, spirit guides. My card is always flying out. All right, we got celebrate life. Ooh, yeah, so they want you to, honor the life and the experience, the human experience that you're having, right? In a positive manner. And we know you guys love partying and celebrating, and enjoying and having a good time. So that's never an issue for y'all. Yeah, I'm seeing wheel of life. So this is all about getting in rhythm with life cycles and understanding that, there are ebbs and flows to life. There's going to be ups, there's going to be downs, but you need to be grateful in every moment. That's what your spirit guides are saying here. Show gratitude and express gratitude for every season of your life. Make sure that you're letting it be known that you are grateful for what it is that you have on the day-to-day, the blessings that are bestowed upon you. Just for waking up every day and breathing air, you have to be grateful and thankful that God, gave you that blessing to wake up. So every time you go out and you think about, all those new experiences that you want to have, make sure that you're expressing gratitude and gratefulness. So, just remaining humble, understanding that everything is not always going to be, your time to shine. Like, sometimes it's your time to be still and listen and take heed, right? And you wonder why things might not be moving forward for you at this time, or why things might be seeming slow, right? Yeah. Or why you might feel like you're being met with, obstacles constantly, and your goals don't seem to be coming to fruition as easily as you thought they would. And you might be in a place of, complaining even. And, your guides are saying, take a pause, take a moment, come to us. We need to deal with you right now, right? Because you don't seem to be acknowledging that we're giving you life and breath in itself. You got to first be grateful and be acknowledgeable, and acknowledge that before anything. Give me more in this message out here for Gemini, please. And this message from Gemini's higher self. Yeah, we have the 3 of Wands. Stand up for yourself and be willing to stand alone sometimes, right? When you're put in moments of isolation, right? And for somebody here specific, you've been going through some, something where you've been feeling isolated. You've been in your thoughts. You're not able to, make clear decisions for yourself. You're feeling like, yeah, there's a lot of confusion. You're not really sure which way to go, who you can trust, whose teachings you could trust in, what advice you could trust, which friends you could trust, right? But you know that you can trust your guides. That's what your guides are saying. You could trust us. Let us, whisk you away and take you to another place here. Like, let us give you the knowledge and the information and everything that you need so that you can soar and you can pretty much fly away, because you've been in some mental confusion. You know what I mean? Someone here is lacking clarity, It's looking like the Geminis are needing to be okay with the fact that they're being pushed into these moments of isolation so that they can hear their inner voice, right? That's what's happening here. You're being pushed to be alone and to be isolated so that you can hear your own voice, so that you can listen to yourself and stop listening to other people. Yeah, again, the Lovers. This is more Gemini energy. So, thank you, Spirit, for the confirmation. Thank you, ancestors. Yeah, it's just really important that you figure out who you are. It's time for Gemini to get in tune with themselves. Yeah. I got the 5 of Wands coming out sideways. Like I said, this feels like mental confusion a lot of times. And this feels like obstacles, right? That are being placed in your way. And you're trying to figure out, like, what is the obstacle? And Spirit is saying, well, maybe you're the obstacle. Maybe you're the obstacle, right? And your ancestors are trying to get you to see how sometimes you can get in your own way. Yeah. This fell off the deck, and I'm seeing the Page of Swords. So sometimes we get in our own way because we're afraid of what it is that we don't know. We're afraid to, unlock new doors. We get stuck in what it is that we're used to, right? We get stuck with the devil it is that we know. And Spirit is saying that somebody here needs to get back to knowing who you are, right? You need to withdraw from the drama at this time, because your life has, become overly drama-filled. Too much drama at this point. Give me more news, please. Yeah, I'm seeing the Hangman in reverse. And you might be stuck in limbo. You might be questioning, wondering if this is the right decision to make. You know what I mean? You might be afraid to free fall into this energy. To free fall and really just let go and let God. But you're being asked to, stop being resistant. Stop fighting the changes that are happening here. Because the things that, you're being isolated from, they're causing too much conflict and too much drama in your life. And that's why you're being guided away from it. Yeah, with the 4 of Swords. Because you need to become one with you. Right? You have to heal that heart of yours. Mend that heart of yours. Begin the process. It's time. Right? To get back to knowing who you are. You see how it's just her and her heart just laying here in this cocoon? So she has no choice but to deal with those wounds. But to face those inner demons. Right? To deal with herself. And mend that broken heart that other people have tried to break apart. You see, but the threads are still there, right? So this is about rethreading your heart. That's why you're being pushed into isolation, so that you could take care of you. I'm not going to take, okay, I wasn't going to take all of these because this is a lot of cards, but I am seeing the devil, on the top of these cards. So like I said, it's all about facing your shadow, You know, those deep inner wounds, those parts of you that you're trying so deeply to hide from others, that you don't want people to know or see. Clarify for me on this Four of Swords, please. What is the message from the highest self, from Gemini's highest self? You really have to pour back into you. You really have to show yourself that you love yourself, because there's a lack of commitment to self. There's a lack of dedication to yourself, right? And it's like every time you get into these moments of isolation where things seem to be slowing down and the cycle is not, you know, going as fast, it's like you're not seeing, right, the opportunity. There's an opportunity here. There's an opportunity here for you to rediscover who you are, right, to get back to you. There's something significant about, you know, reading. I don't know if someone, you know, wants to go back to school, or just you're just a person who likes to gain a lot of information and knowledge. But because I'm seeing a lot of swords here. So this is definitely someone who's dealing with a lot of mental confusion. But this is also somebody who may be, yeah, intellectual. I'm seeing the Emperor and the Seven of Swords. So this is someone who needs to stand up for themselves, right? Right? With the Seven of Swords, you have to stand up for yourself. With this Emperor, get back in control of your life and your narrative. Get back in control of what it is that you're trying to create for yourself, your stability, your life. Like, it seems like you've allowed the world to sort of trample all over you, and Spirit is saying, your ancestors are saying, it's time for you to stand firm. You know, it's not going to be easy, but you have to protect yourself at all costs. Of course, it's not going to be easy to defend yourself. And, you know, you have to stand up and be something different than what you're used to being. But something has to change here. Something has to change here. Excuse me, I dropped the card. Yeah, there's a lot of swords energy. Yep, and I just picked up the Eight of Swords. Okay, so. You know, this is like the same card that was right under, well, we have the Page of Swords, but now that's the Eight of Swords. It's this mental imprisonment, right? Look at this. This woman is looking in the mirror and she sees herself and she's bound. This is how you feel every day when you wake up and you look in the mirror. You're bound to this version of yourself, right? This bondage that you're living in, being, you know, whether it with the devil coming out, you could have been a slave to your own desires, or you could have been a slave to other people's desires and what it is that other people want for you. But either way, there's some self-limiting beliefs. There's some self-limiting thoughts. You know what I mean? A lot of dark, negative thoughts, right? With these crows showing up around her head, there could be a lot of, you know, mental anguish and turmoil that you're going through at this time. But notice how this woman is not looking into that mirror. And then even the woman in the mirror is blindfolded. You have to be willing to face your shadow. You have to be willing to face yourself. That is the only way that you're going to make it out of this next phase. That is why you're being pushed into isolation, so that you can deal with you and reconcile with yourself. You know? Yeah, the Hierophant. Get back to finding out what it is. What is your reasoning for being here? You have a deeper purpose. You have a deeper meaning. You have a deeper calling. You have to tap in with what values and morals you're going to have. That's how you're going to get out of this phase. That's how you're going to get to the next chapter, right? Meditation, you know, really, really working through, doing the shadow work and the healing. Yeah, the Death card, right? You're being urged to transform. You're going through an intense death and rebirth process at this time. A dark night of the soul, right? But you see that sun shining inside of this person? They can't see themselves. But look what's deep inside. You have to accept yourself. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah, look, I'm seeing the Empress and the King of Cups. So somebody here might, you know, be desiring a love or a relationship or a partnership at this time. Somebody could be heavy in their emotions. Somebody could, you know, literally be dealing with a pregnancy, or, you know, life coming into this world. And it's like, in order for you to get the best experience out of this, you have to do the healing work. You have to do the work on yourself, okay? Yeah, so that is the message. If I could just get some closing out messages here, I'll use this little, my sacred contract. Let's see, like, what contracts, you know, is this associated with? What is the lesson here for Gemini as far as the state of their life contracts at this time? State of Gemini's life contracts at this time, please. What is the message? we have beyond boundaries. Yeah, so this is all about breaking free from limitations, like we said with that Eight of Wands, right? Like, you have to set yourself free from things, people, places that are no longer serving you. You have the chance to reconnect with your emotions, right? We see a lot. Somebody here may need to get by some water, but I'm seeing a lot of like cards about meditation and really, doing the inner work. But someone here, like, you're being ushered a change. Like, they're trying to bring you into this new era, right? With this world. I mean, excuse me, with this, yeah, with the Empress card, but with the world being inside of her womb, it's like, whether you're bringing new life into this world right now, or you're about to bring new life into this world soon, either way, you're being given an opportunity to do things differently, right? To come from a place of love, right, and care. So that's the message that I have for you guys. Like it says, expand beyond boundaries and step into your true power. Understand that you have limitless potential. Whatever it is that you want, if you want to be better, you can be better. So yeah, that's the message. I hope that helps. Like, comment, subscribe, let me know. Love you guys, and I'll see y'all in the next one.